Final update. At my daughter's birthday party, my grandson came to me and said, "Grandpa, you have to leave now." I was surprised and asked why. Then he said, "Just go now. You will understand later." I trusted him and left. What happened next was rather unbelievable. But the worst conversation came from my brother Alan. We hadn't spoken much since Helen passed. He'd been distant, always too busy. But now he was calling, pretending to care, though it was clear he was just sniffing around for details. "I mean," he said with a slow drawl, "this will follow her forever. You know, maybe you could just reconsider the will, at least." I felt my jaw clench so tight it ached. "I already did," I told him. "She's out permanently." A pause. "Well," he said, "that's your right, I suppose." "My right?" I snapped. "She tried to murder me, Alan." Silence. Then, people do crazy things when they think they've been left behind. I hung up before I said something I couldn't take back. I sat there in my living room, staring at the blank TV screen, realizing just how shallow some roots in this family really were. That night, Ethan and I made frozen pizza and played Monopoly. He beat me fair and square and gloated like a champion. For the first time in weeks, I saw his eyes light up, not just flicker with survival, but genuinely glow. After the game, as we picked up the pieces, he asked, "When I grow up, can I keep this house?" I looked around at the old wood floors, the fireplace Helen had painted, the picture of Elise at 5 years old still framed on the bookshelf. "Yes," I said. "It'll be yours." "But what if she gets out?" he asked quietly. "Will she try again?" The question twisted something in me because the truth was I didn't know. She could get parole someday. She could still try to claw her way back into our lives, but I had no room left for pretending. "If she does," I told him, "we'll be ready together." In the weeks that followed, I worked with my attorney to finalize the new trust. Ethan's education was fully funded. Julia was added as co-guardian. A clause was inserted that permanently barred Elise and Marcus from contesting any part of the estate. Legally, financially, emotionally, I cut the cord. It didn't feel triumphant. It felt necessary, like setting a broken bone. One Saturday morning, Julia handed me a letter from Elise. She said it came to my house. She must have remembered I was your emergency contact. I stared at the envelope, white, thin, her handwriting on the front. I didn't open it, not right away. I left it on the table for days, walking past it like it was some coiled snake waiting to strike. Eventually, curiosity won out. Inside was a single page, typed. "Dad, I won't ask you to forgive me. I know you won't. I know I don't deserve that. I never thought I'd become this person. I used to look in the mirror and see your eyes. Now I see Marcus. I hope Ethan grows up to be like you. I hope you protect him from the parts of me I can't explain. I'm sorry. Not just for what I did, but for what I made you feel about the daughter you raised." At least I didn't cry. I didn't write back. But I didn't burn it either. I folded the letter, placed it in the back of my desk drawer, and closed it with a quiet sigh. Because even monsters leave shadows, and sometimes those shadows write apologies. Some mornings I still check the locks twice. I don't do it because I think someone's coming. I do it because I need the ritual, a confirmation that what happened wasn't a dream, that I'm not walking back into a trap wrapped in tinsel and cake. Trauma, I've learned, has a rhythm. Some days it hums quietly under your skin, other days it screams from the corners of your memory. But no matter what, you learn to live with it like an uninvited tenant in your home. Life didn't return to normal. There's no such thing after your daughter tries to kill you. But it found a new shape, a new beat. Ethan started school that fall at the middle school down the road. He joined chess club, made a few friends, even asked me to let him sign up for guitar lessons. I told him yes before he even finished the question. Every time I said yes to something he wanted, I felt like I was building a fence around him, one that Elise would never scale again. Julia stayed close. She didn't move in, but she became part of the rhythm, dinners, school pickups, grocery runs. Once over coffee, she asked me what I'd do if Elise ever wrote again. "Nothing," I said. I read her words once. That was enough. She nodded, her eyes not quite meeting mine. "She's still your daughter." I shook my head. She was. Now she's something else. The story didn't fade quickly in town. There were whispers at the hardware store, awkward silences at church. But people are like weather, they move on eventually, always chasing the next storm. The real healing didn't happen outside. It happened here, within the walls of a house that had once known laughter and now was learning to laugh again. Ethan started calling the guest room his room, even though it had always been his when he visited. One night, he stuck a drawing on the door, a treehouse, big and lopsided, with the words Fort Grandpa scribbled underneath. I asked him what it meant. "It's where we'll go when things get loud again," he said simply. That drawing stayed taped to the door. One night, maybe 6 months after the arrest, I got another voicemail. This one from Elise's lawyer. He informed me that she had been moved to a lower security facility pending psychological evaluation. He used soft phrases like emotional instability and diminished capacity. I let the message play once, then deleted it. I didn't want to decode their language anymore. I'd spent too long trying to understand Elise's silence, her choices, her motives. I was done translating. But something shifted after that call. Not forgiveness, no, that word had no place in this story, but curiosity. I started looking at old photos again, this time without rage. There she was, 6 years old, missing front teeth, standing in front of a birthday cake I'd made from scratch. There she was at prom, beaming in a pink dress, and then college graduation, holding her diploma like it might fly away. That girl was gone, but for a moment, I allowed myself to miss her. Ethan and I did end up building that treehouse. It took 3 weekends, 2 bent nails, and 1 mild argument over whether it should have a trap door. He won. We painted it blue and strung fairy lights across the inside. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't need to be. It was ours. One afternoon, we sat inside it during a light rain, passing a bag of popcorn between us. He looked up suddenly and asked, "Do you think she'll ever say sorry to me?" I thought about Elisa's letter buried in my desk drawer. "I think she might," I said. "One day. And if she does, that's up to you," I told him. "But you never owe her anything. Not even an answer." He seemed to consider that. Then he reached into his backpack and pulled out a folded piece of paper. It was a handwritten letter. "I wrote something back," he said, "but I don't want to send it." I took it gently and unfolded it. It was 4 simple lines. "Mom, I don't know why you did it, but Grandpa loves me and I love him. That's enough for now. Ethan." I folded the paper back and gave it to him. "You're brave," I said. He shrugged. "I learned from you." And in that moment, I didn't care what Elise had tried to take from me because she hadn't won. She hadn't shattered this family. She'd only revealed its cracks, and we had filled them in ourselves. As autumn settled in, I had the words "In Trust We Heal" carved into a small stone and placed it at the edge of the garden. Not for Elise, not even for Helen, but for the life that remained, the life we chose to keep building. I still lock the doors twice. I still wake some nights in a sweat, but I also wake to the sound of a boy laughing downstairs, to the smell of pancakes on Saturday mornings, to a second chance I never expected. I'm not the man I was before. I'm something harder, something clearer. And I've learned that love, the kind worth keeping, isn't blind. It sees everything and stays anyway. If this story struck a nerve, if you've ever had to draw the hardest line between family and self-preservation, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to choose your peace over blood ties? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more true stories that dig deep into the complicated layers of family, loyalty, and survival. See you soon in the next.